Hello, ladies and gentlemen in YouTube land. It's me again, Milton. Some call me Milton, some call me Milton. It's all in how you say it. It's all the same to me. It really doesn't matter. All right, let's get to it. I know it's been a while since I've been out here, so I do apologize for that. But like I said, life be lifing sometimes. So let's get to it. I want to talk to y'all today. Let's see. Now, some of y'all might, when you travel and you go on your cruises and you go different destinations and stuff like that. Some people drive to where they're going. Depends upon what cruise port you go out of. Some people have to fly. Okay. Well, I'm talking to those people who like to fly to go to different destinations and stuff like that. Well, if you fly a lot, or if you fly within the states, or you fly, say if you in North Carolina and you fly into California, or you in New York and you fly into Florida, or you're wherever you're in Texas, or wherever you're flying to, you still got to fly. You got to go to the airport. All right. Now, here's the thing. So, you got the different lines. When you go to the airport, you see the different lines and stuff out there. You got the regular lines that you see. And if you go at the right time, you got to go out there. You got to take your shoes off. You got to take your laptop out your suitcase and stuff like that. When you get ready to go through, and you got to make sure ain't nothing in there. Like, make sure you got nothing in there like that you're supposed to have. Now, but then you also got the TSA pre-check line that's over there. Well, TSA, the pre-check gets you through a little bit, supposedly to get you a little through faster. Depends upon when you go, because sometimes that line can be just as long as the regular line. But you go through, but you got to go through a little more to get TSA pre-check. Okay. Now, what you have to do to get TSA pre-check, you go on there and you get you go online and you fill out the application online, and then they schedule you an appointment. And so you go through the appointment and you do what you need to do, and then they give once you're cleared, and they give you everything you need to get. Then they give you what they call a known traveler number, or a KTN. And so when you get that when you're going through, and you see that on your boarding pass, when you book your flights and stuff like that, you see it on your boarding pass. When you see it on your boarding pass, you got to make sure you see that on your boarding pass, because if you don't see it on your boarding pass, that means you're not going through TSA pre-check. But if you see it on your boarding pass, like it's going to say TSA pre-check on your boarding pass, or it's going to have something on there along that line. But if you don't see that, then that means you got to go through the regular line. If you see pre-check on there, that means you can go through pre-check. When you go through pre-check, that means you don't have to take off your shoes. You ain't got to take stuff out your bag. You can just go through and they scan your bag real fast for you, do what you need to do. And most of the time you're in and out. It's a lot shorter most of the time. I say it most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. As I said before, sometimes the TSA pre-check line can be just as long as the regular line. It can be. Depends upon when you go through. And so most airports, they do have TSA pre-check. Some don't. Most of them do. So when you go through, like I said, you go through TSA, instead of having you take your shoes off and go through all the other kind of stuff that you normally had to go through and take all the stuff out your bag, your computers, your laptop, all kind of stuff like that, your cell phones, anything you may have, any electronics you may have. When you go through the regular line, you got to take all this stuff out your bag. TSA pre-check, you really don't have to take all that out your bag. You just put your bag on the bed, let it roll. Just make sure that you're following the rules, like the 311 rule, the liquids and stuff like that. Make sure that you within that guideline that they have. 3.4 ounces of liquids to fit in the 1 quart bag. Make sure that you follow those things like that. Because if you don't, they're going to stop you, and you're going to have to still open your bag and go through all this other kind of stuff. Okay. Now, when you go through TSA pre-check, like again, you go online, you fill out the application. Once you fill out the application, then you have to go through the little interview. It's a little headache, but it's worth it. In my opinion, it's worth it. Normally that runs you between $78 to $85, depending upon where you get it from. Okay. You go through that. Now they have this thing. Now I'm gonna talk to you about one other thing. They have this thing called global entry. Global entry is like, again, when you go on your cruises and stuff, most of us go out of country. Okay. When some of us go on vacation, we go out of country. We may go to Aruba. We may go to We may go to Jamaica or Bahamas or wherever. We may go to another country. Now it might be hard to get to another country, but we go to other countries. A lot of times when we cruise and we travel, we go to other countries and stuff like that. Well, global entry, it's a little bit more in depth than TSA PreCheck. You go through the same process, but a little bit harder to get, sometimes harder to get because the interview, you got to schedule an interview, and it's gotten very popular out there now. So when it's gotten popular, more people want it. So it's hard to get get your interview time and stuff like that. Now, here's the kicker. Global entry comes with, guess what? TSA PreCheck. It comes with that. Well, so, you decide. It costs a little bit more because now when you go through global entry, that means when you come back, if you're flying out of the country, you're flying to wherever you're flying to, because now, when you take your cruise, a lot of cruises are going out of different countries and stuff because people like to go, like if you take a cruise going out of Rome or Italy, or you take a cruise going out of wherever, another country, you have to fly to the other country, right? Well, when you have global entry, that helps you to get through the land a lot faster. Instead of when you go through immigrations and you have to fly back in, how you fly back into the country and stuff like that. Well, a lot of times when you have global entry, now you can just kind of walk up there, show them your information, and go through. You don't have to worry about all the other kind of stuff. Again, like TSA PreCheck, if you're only flying domestically inside the United States and stuff like that, you go up there and you show them your TSA PreCheck stuff, and you kind of ease through the line a little bit more. You don't have to go through pulling out all this other kind of stuff that you normally would have to pull out. Okay, so the global entry, now that normally runs a little bit more. Now normally that runs by, I think, about $100, and then I think they said it's getting ready to go up to like $120 coming up sometime soon. So you might, and now I will tell you this: TSA PreCheck and global entry, both of them last for 5 years. Both of them last for 5 years now. So you be the judge as to which benefits you more. Okay, one is just a little bit more harder to get than the other. Not that much harder. It's more because of the interview process that you got to go through, the scheduling part of the interview process. It's not even the interview process. It's the scheduling part of it that you got to go through because it's just harder to get the schedule it in there. Sometimes you can get lucky, or you can be fortunate enough to find a time that kind of fits in there faster, because some people get appointments, they cancel them, they cancel them, so whatever the case is. So you might find one that's in there like that. So you can do those things. Okay. Now they also have this one called Clear. There's one other program that they have called Clear. Clear is a little bit more in depth. And they have, when you go through the airports, you'll see the sign that says general boarding. You have to see one that says TSA PreCheck. But then, TSA PreCheck, you also have one that says TSA PreCheck global entry. And then you also have one that says Clear. Clear, you're supposed to be able to bypass all that. Okay? Well, Clear, you're supposed to be able to bypass all of that, because what they do is they take supposedly they take a scan of your retina, your eyes and stuff like that, or your fingerprints. So, and you're supposed to be able to just walk past all that kind of stuff like that, and then, but they still, you still got to go through some kind of process, I would assume, but you still have to go through some things like that. But again, that costs a little bit more, okay? But the kicker with this is you have to have TSA PreCheck in order to get Clear. So you had to have both. So you got to pay for TSA PreCheck, and you have to pay for Clear. All right. So you be the judge for that. Now, the Clear, that costs a little bit more. That runs you, let's see, Clear, that normally runs you approximately, let's see if I looked at it correctly, $189 a year. Okay, they usually run you about $189 a year. So you be the judge of all of that right there. Okay. Now, with all that being said, so like I said, TSA PreCheck, you got your standard line, which you go through. You got to take out your shoes. You got to take out your computers. You got to take out your electronics. You got to take all these things out your bag. TSA PreCheck, you just kind of go up there, put your bag on the line. They scan it. You roll through. You don't have to take your shoes off. You can go through a light jacket most of the time. Long as it, and then you keep on going. Long as you follow your normal rules and stuff like that, you follow your different rules that you got up there. Like I said, the liquid rule, the 311 liquid rule that they got up there, and the other things that they got up there. Now, when you go through, you can always look the stuff up online like I did. Okay. So it tells you a little bit more, it goes a little bit more in detail because they're constantly changing stuff. Now, I will say this. At one time, they were being relaxed on the like hand sanitizers and stuff like that. Well, now, they were letting you have a little bit more hand sanitizer so you can wipe your stuff down when you get on the plane and stuff on that line. Well, now they're going back to, it's considered a liquid. So now they're going back to the 3.4 ounces. So make sure that when you're going through, you got the 3.4 ounces and not, no more. Okay. And it's got to fit in the 1 quart bag that they normally have, all the kind of stuff like that. Okay. And they go according to the size of your container, not the amount that's in the container. So if you got a thing of toothpaste or hand sanitizer, but you say, well, most of it's gone. Well, they still go according to the size. Okay. You said, well, it looked like about 3-4 ounces, but it still goes to the size. Okay. So keep all this in mind. All right. Now I will tell you this. Some credit cards, you check yours and see if it has it. Some credit card companies and some companies, they throw in TSA Precheck or Global Entry. They throw it in there. It's one of the perks. So look at your credit cards and stuff like that to see if it's got it in there. Because you may have it in there and don't even have to pay for it. Because like I said, with some companies, they do have it in there. Now, I can't tell you all the companies. I can't give you the names of them. Again, but like I said, I will say this. Before going to the airports and stuff like that, do your homework. Because they change the liquid rules. They change the stuff all the time. Now, because they're constantly changing. 1 minute they'll say you can have this. 1 minute say you can't have that. 1 minute they say you can have a big thing of hand sanitizer, or you can have your wipes and stuff like that, so you can wipe stuff down. Then they say you can't. Then one time they were saying that you could not have like gel insoles in your shoes and stuff like that. Then they said you could. Then they said you couldn't, depending upon what it is. Now we'll say this: every time they change it, it's because there's a reason why they change what they change. Okay. I hope this helped you out. If it did, if I've said anything to help you out anyway, leave me a comment at the bottom. If it's something that I forgot to say, or if it's something I said wrong, leave me a comment at the bottom. It helps me to grow. It helps me to grow out with the information I have and the stuff I put out. Okay. Again, like I said, I always close with this: do unto others as you had them do unto you. If you want to treat people, if you want to be treated right, treat people right. If you want people to talk to you right, talk to people right. Because a lot of times people will talk to you how you talk to them. A lot of times people will talk to you like you talk to them. If you talk to them with respect, they'll come with you with respect. If you talk to them with disrespect, they'll come at you with disrespect. So again, talk to people how you want to talk to people, and treat people like you want to be treated. Again, you get what you give. Okay. It comes back at you. It may not come back in the same form, but it comes back at you. Keep that in mind. All right. Again, if I say anything to help you out, or if I said anything if I forgot something, leave me a comment at the bottom, because I'm still growing. All right. Thank you very much. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.